interview report, reporting to you live from SAC News on April 17th, 1779. Today we will be doing a report about the three estates.
Spare Librace.
Oh, of course. Would you mind doing an interview with SAC News?
Sure.
So what is your name and social class?
I'm Gavraj and I'm in the third estate.
And what do you do as a job?
I'm a farmer and I cultivate the land and feed the cattle.
Are you a member of the National Assembly?
Yes.
So how old are you?
I'm 38.
And what are your religious views?
I'm a Huguenot.
So do you have a family?
I do. I had a wife, but she died in my son Henry's childbirth.
I'm so sorry. Does your son Henry work on the farm with you?
He does.
And is he educated?
He is not.
And who do you work for?
I work on a farm to pay for my child.
And do you own the land that you farm?
I don't.
And who owns the land that you farm?
Nobility.
What are your hopes and plans for the future?
That the three estates will be abolished so my son Henry can live a better life.
So do you pay taxes?
Yes.
And do you think it's unfair that you have to pay so much more than everyone else?
Very.
Thank you so much for doing this interview with SAC News. Excuse me, would you mind doing an interview for SAC News?
Sure.
All right, what is your name?
My name is Marius.
So how old are you?
I'm 34 years old.
And what estate are you in?
I'm part of the third estate and I'm part of the bourgeoisie.
And what is your occupation?
I'm a lawyer.
So what is daily life like for you as a lawyer?
So I walk to work in the morning and I defend the local citizens of France who are innocent.
Interesting. So do you have a family?
Yeah, I have a wife and kids.
That's great. Where do you live?
I live in Gionis. It's right outside of Paris. We have an acre of land and a pretty nice house.
Thank you, Marius, for doing an interview with SAC News. Currently, we are in a small town outside of Paris looking for other people to interview. Excuse me, would you mind doing an interview for SAC News?
Anything for you!
Thank you! So, what is your name?
Charles.
And what estate are you in?
I'm in the third estate.
And what is your occupation?
I'm an enlightenment writer, but I also paint and then I sell them.
Very interesting. So what are your political beliefs?
I believe that we should have no king and that France should become a republic. I also believe that there should be legislation, judicial and executive branches in the government. And I also believe that people should have the right to life, liberty, and property.
And what are your religious views?
I believe that there is no God and that people live by predestination.
So what are your hopes and plans for the future?
I hope that I become as influential as Locke and Hobbes, and I also hope that my ideas spread throughout the France country and I become famous.
So moving on to other things, do you have a family?
I do not.
How old are you?
I am 38.
And how much land do you own?
I own a small amount of land. I live in a small cottage off of the Paris countryside.
All right, thank you so much for doing this interview with SAC News. That was an interesting fellow. We are in Versailles to interview a noblewoman and her servant. Excuse me.
Charlotte! Charlotte! Charlotte, help me up! Oh my, oh, I must have fainted. Sorry, what was that?
What is your name?
My name is Beatrice.
And what is your job?
I am a stay-at-home mother, but my husband, he and I were actually both born into the nobility, so we're hereditary nobles. And
He's a gambler, big time. He drinks all day. I never see him miss. Actually, not that bad. I do say so myself. I do pretty well. What's your next question?
Do you take care of your children?
No.
Does your servant do that for you?
Yes, my loyal servant Charlotte does. She's a little annoying.
Excuse me, Charlotte?
Yes.
Would you like to come join the interview?
Of course.
What do you do as your servant?
I cook and clean and serve and watch her children.
Interesting. So, what are your political beliefs?
I'm okay with everything how it is as long as I keep my job to support my children.
And what are your social views?
I like the king. I think everything should stay exactly how it is.
And what are your political views?
Well, I'm not really okay with being taxed. I think they should tax everybody or no one.
And your religious views?
I am a faithful Roman Catholic.
Are you also a Roman Catholic?
Of course, there's no better religion.
And are your children educated?
Yes, they have a tutor.
Is your servant the tutor?
Not Charlotte, because she's not educated, but I have another tutor.
Great. How old are you?
I'm 42.
And how old are you?
26.
So, how much land do you own?
25 acres.
Thank you, Charlotte and Beatrice, for doing that interview with SAC News. I'm here in a cathedral in Versailles to interview a member of the clergy. Hello.
May I help you?
Yes, you can. Could I do an interview with you for SAC News?
Sure.
Okay, so how old are you?
I am 52 years old.
And how high are you in the clergy?
I am the highest of them all.
And so I understand that you are a Roman Catholic.
Yes, I wouldn't be working for the church if I wasn't.
So what are your political views?
My political views are that I support the king as long as the First Estate does not have to pay taxes.
Okay. And so you do not support the National Assembly, I'm guessing then.
Of course not.
Your hopes for the future?
My hopes for the future is that France stays the same and people become one with God.
And what?
Become one with God.
Thank you. How much money do you earn from the taxing of peasants and the Third Estate?
Well, the members of the clergy receive 50 million livres each year.
Interesting.
Very.
So as a member of the clergy, are you allowed to have a family?
That is a no.
That's...
S A C C SAC News!
Spare liberates! Spare liberates! Spare liberates! Please! Spare liberates!
to the future.
For my hat to stay on.
My hopes for the future are that my hat stays on and France stays the same and
I tripped on my dress. This dress is so long.
I just feel
Can we
it
start
all.
over? Sorry.
Why are you always peeing?
Start over.
Currently, we are in a small town outside of Paris looking for others to interview. Excuse me, would you mind doing an interview? I guess that's a no. So, as a member of the clergy... So, as a member of the clergy, are you allowed to have a family?
No.
So as a member of the clergy, are you allowed to have a family?
That is a no.
That's very sad.
Now, my turn. What is your name?
My name is Genevieve Laporte with SAC News.
How are you today?
I am doing just fine.
That's great.
Thank you.
What is your occupation?
I am a news reporter.
Now, would we call in Servant Charlotte for some questioning? Who killed Genevieve?
I have some shocking news, everybody. The true killer is Beatrice. I watched her murder her husband.
SACC
News.
Okay, ready?
SAC News.
For another Ray, I'll sing you a song. Esta, 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 Catalina, esta, esta. Oh, no, 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 no.
Signing out.
Where's my money?
Signing out with Genevieve Laporte.
I want my money.